MAGA is melting down after it was announced that Vice President Kamala Harris will be sitting down for an interview with Fox News as part of her most recent media blitz. In fact, in her first official Fox News interview since entering the race in July, she'll be sitting down Wednesday with the network's chief political anchor, Bret Baier, in the swing state of Pennsylvania, very important state. Deadline reports that Harris has upped her media appearances recently, having sat down with Stephen Colbert, 60 Minutes, Bill Whitaker, and Howard Stern, among other personalities. She's also been urged by some supporters to make an appearance on Fox News, populated by voices on the right, even though Baier is on the network's news side with an average of 2.3 million viewers. Special Report has ranked among the most watched cable news programs. In fact, Harris's team is even trying to get on the Joe Rogan podcast. So that's going to be interesting. Look, here's the thing. What she's doing makes sense if you're trying to woo conservative voters in these particular states, these swing states. And look, she's gunning for the anti-Trump Republican vote. I mean, that's what a lot of these Democrats are doing. And it's kind of a bummer as a lefty to watch this, but I know why. It doesn't make it any less, ridiculous to me sometimes that we have to do this, but it's because the Electoral College, right, makes it so that a handful of conservatives and independents, which generally are just people that refuse to call themselves Republicans or conservatives, in swing states end up deciding the election. All right, so that's why she's doing this. And again, as a lefty, I understand the strategy, and I hate that's the reason that she has to do it. So if you're upset about that, as I am, then you would want to get rid of the Electoral College, all right? Because it's basically DEI for Republicans. Now, that said, she's trying to get those never-Trumpers, okay? What's Trump doing? Is he trying to get people on his side? No, he's backing out of interviews on mainstream media and then having, I kid you not, 40-minute dance-a-thons at what are supposed to be town hall events.
Nice and loud.
Here we go, everybody.
For 30 minutes, the former president danced and swayed on stage to the music. CNN's reporter at the event said there appeared to be some confusion about what was happening while Trump was up there.
There appeared to be a little confusion. Yeah, or a lot. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Are we still doing that? Are we still calling Republicans weird? Because I kind of wish that we hadn't stopped. Look, getting to a serious point though, Donald Trump has done virtually no interviews with mainstream media outlets. Okay, he's been avoiding the New York Times, ABC News, CBS News, CNN, obviously MSNBC. Yeah, not surprising, though, with Trump. Now, Harris, of course, had also not done interviews for a while. Now, that's changed since the polls have tightened up. I said before, like, yeah, at first, yeah, she's, going to get things organized and then kind of ride out that high at first before she is inevitably going to have to go on a media blitz. And now we are at that point. She's on that media blitz. And now that she's doing Fox News, as part of it, well, MAGA is not exactly thrilled. Trump supporters have swarmed all over Fox's Bret Baier today like he was a Capitol Police officer on J6 after he posted on Twitter that he will be interviewing Kamala Harris this Wednesday, according to Midas Touch News. Baier received 2,200 comments on his tweet announcing the interview in just the first hour after he posted it. No, I will not be reading through all of those. Most of those comments followed a consistent theme that they had lost faith in Baier and Fox News after his tough interview had embarrassed Trump last year. Who gets embarrassed over a tough interview? Tough interview is a tough interview. Okay? And that they expect him to go into this interview with guns blazing to win back their favor. Look, I'm all for politicians getting tough interviews. Tough but fair interviews. That's what I expect. Yeah, sometimes you have some uncomfortable questions. Don't really care for the gotchas, okay? But I do care for tough questions on policy issues, on substantive issues. That's generally not what mainstream media does with candidates, and it doesn't really matter on what side. Unless you're a progressive, unless you're Bernie Sanders, then of course the question is, how are you going to pay for that? Constantly. Okay. Now that said, what MAGA wants to see is Bret Baier questioning Kamala Harris on ridiculous conspiracies. For example, the earrings, right, in the debate. Were those actual AirPods? Oh, she was given the questions ahead of time. That's the problem. And now she's going to get questions ahead of time here, too, I bet. And then, of course, there were other complaints about Baier and Fox News calling the 2020 election, quote, too early for Biden. And so I love these conspiracy theories because it really betrays their biggest issue with Kamala Harris, that she is a black woman. I mean, look, again, from a lefty perspective, Kamala Harris has a lot of issues. I don't think that she's left enough. Certainly on, and certainly the issue with her not breaking with Joe Biden publicly on Gaza. I mean, I don't like that at all. But those are actual substantive issues, right? Where you can have some disagreement. What Fox News viewers are doing is not having substantive disagreement. They're just going full like, she's black, and therefore she must not be smart. She must get all the questions ahead of time. They're giving her an advantage. You know why? It's because they can't imagine a world where a black woman could be as smart as a white man.
The Republican Party's racist.
Thing is, though, she is actually smarter, okay, than Trump. That's a given. Most people are. Black people, especially black women, by the way, have to work twice as hard, sometimes more, just to get to a place where you are considered to be successful. And what happens if you do make it? Then you have idiots out there that are like, DI, affirmative action, or even the more unsavory conspiracies about Harris, doing certain sexual favors to get into the position that she's in. This is something that women, and black women especially, end up facing when they get into positions of power or authority or wealth. And so that's what's going on. Now, that said, why are MAGA chuds specifically mad that she's going on Fox News? I mean, I'll give you a couple of comments. One said, Kamala wouldn't be doing this interview on Fox News unless her team knew they would go easy on her. Another said, Bret Baier will probably pass the questions. Yet another said, to get this interview, Fox News and Bret Baier had to make so many concessions to Harris' team that this interview will be as watered down as they come. Not interested. What's funny, though, is that it's Donald Trump that keeps putting in the preconditions and then pulling out of interviews. Not Harris. Not Harris. But here's the thing, though. This is an example of distrust of the media, right? Nobody trusts the media anymore, and that includes an increasing number of young people. Currently, 54% of Democrats, 20% is 7% of independents, and 12% of Republicans say that they have a great deal or a fair amount of trust in the media, according to Gallup. 12% of Republicans. Oh, boy, do they hate the media. Independents' trust matches their record low in 2022, while Democrats and Republicans are statistically similar to their historical low points. There are good reasons for that, and there are bad reasons for that. That said, when you break it down by the age, some of the reasons become obvious. Young Democrats, for example, are dragging down the rest of these numbers because they trust the media far less than older Democrats do. 31% of Democrats age 18 to 29 versus 74% of those age 65 or older have a great deal or fair amount of confidence in the media. Young people are more likely to get their news online and from social media than traditional media. And for me, the reason I think it's this way is because corporate media is right-wing by nature of it being a corporation. They tend to toe the corporate business-friendly narratives more so. Okay, young people are far more progressive economically as well as socially. And so they're more distrustful of corporate media narratives, and I definitely agree with that. That said, you still have a majority of Democrats, older people, still tuning into MSNBC, CNN, and Fox News, which is why Harris is going to those outlets. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.